and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by D.O. Bike and Fitness. Located at 1738 6th Street in Brooklyn, South Dakota, D.O. is a place for all things bikes. Offering top brands such as Trap and Electra, this close-to-campus store has both bike and e-bike options. Remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a bike, and that's pretty close. 692-2022 is the number to call for this full-service and sales store. D.O. is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio KSDJ 90.7.
We're tied at 7 here, 3 minutes, 17 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and the Jackrabbits, after forcing a punt from USD, will try and get something going here on offense and try and take the lead here for the first time tonight. They're set up on their own 16-yard line. The ball carrier is going to get across the 20-yard line up to the 21. Amari Johnson on the carry on that one, and that'll get us past the 3-minute mark left here in the first quarter. So ball spotted, far side hash, single receiver to either side of the offensive line. 2 extra blockers now spreading out and going to be on either side of the offensive line as well. The shotgun snap from Gronowski, turns around, hands it off to Angel Johnson. Past the 25, up to the 26-yard line. Outside on the far side in between the hash marks and the numbers. He's got enough for the first down, so they'll move the chains there with 2:22 left to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Chris Dixon, the defensive tackle, was able to make the stop there. And what I like about these runs is out wide zone runs. Everyone loves them. They're fun to watch, but to really establish those runs that have the potential to beat the linebacker and have huge carries, you got to be able to run it up the middle.
Running with it now on the far side, going to be Chase Mason, the backup quarterback. He gets close to the 30-yard line. They're going to mark him in between the 28 and 29. A couple yards gained on that one. 3 yards to be exact, and a second down and 7 upcoming for SDSU.
Yeah, those kind of runs, those outside runs, you take the chance. A lot of times you're just going to pick up 3 yards, 2 yards, but you take the chance, especially with a quarterback as athletic as Chase Mason, of it being a huge gain.
Dropping back, Gronowski sends it over the middle. Going to be complete to Griffin Wilde, the Sioux Falls Jefferson product. He gets up to the 35, a yard short of the first down marker, sets up 3rd down and 1 with $1:05 left to go here in the first frame between SDSU and USD. We're tied at 7 in the Interstate Series.
Josiah Eganis is having himself a game. He's really wrapping up and getting a lot of tackles.
Another handoff to the running back. Going to be Angel again. He gets across the first down marker, gets all the way up to the 39-yard line. It's going to be a 1st down and 10 at that 39-yard line as they inch their way closer to midfield here and drain the clock even more here in the first quarter A first quarter that seemingly has gone by pretty quick so far today. We're tied at 7, no blowouts or anything like that, and a pretty competitive game so far. A direct snap to Angel Johnson, going to fake the handoff to Gronowski. They're going to take it, jukes his way across the 45, heads his way up at the 47, still short of the first down by 2 yards, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter.
Gary Bryant. Oh,
go ahead.
My bad. Gary Bryant the third on the tackle, and these linebackers are just having a game. And what I've mentioned before, rushing offense helps your passing offense. All this, we're running the ball, and you're bringing those linebackers down. They have to respect the multitude of people on this team that can run. You're bringing linebackers down. You're bringing safeties down. That's why these safeties are also getting their fair share of tackles. Josiah Gaines, for instance. They're bringing them down because they have to respect the run. And what that's going to do is eventually you're going to guess wrong. You're going to guess wrong eventually, and bringing those linebackers down, bringing those safeties down, all it does is open up the opportunity to have a huge passing play. And Mark Gronowski's got a great arm. He can sling that thing accurately. He's got zip to his ball. I'm expecting eventually this is going to lead to a big pass. This drive, I'm not going to bet on it, but I anticipate this drive, we're going to at least see a deep attempt.
Got it. 7-7. We're tied after 1 here. We got the second quarter coming up between USD and SDSU. Right after this, you're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegiate Sports.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by locally owned Brookings Park West. Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, Park West is a one-stop shop for Brookings. Their phone number is 692-6298. Park West is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7.
Support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. We're tied at 7 between South Dakota State and the University of South Dakota, the Interstate Series. We're into the second quarter here as Gronowski's going to clap his hands and hand it off to Angel Johnson. He fights his way forward to the 49-yard line, which is exactly where the first down marker was sitting, and that'll move the chains. A first down for South Dakota State on the first play of the second quarter. Braden Byers alongside Jacob Brendy Ben Anderson also helping us out here. He'll probably circle his way back around during halftime in the post-game here today. We'll get you on the mic some more. We're not going to let that beautiful voice go to total waste in this football broadcast. If you didn't hear earlier today, he was doing volleyball. Great job, by the way. The undefeated Jackrabbit volleyball team staying that way against the Denver Pioneers, a 3-1 lead. Another handoff to Angel Johnson. He goes across the 50 to the Coyote 47. Going to set up a second down and definitely manageable 6 yards to get the first down.
Offensive line is your best friend when you're a running back, and on that play, it looked like he had 2 lanes to choose from. And you always like that. People like having choices, especially when you're a patient runner.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right now, going out for passes, and it was thrown right into the chest of, I believe that is Graham Goring. He wasn't able to come down with it, plainly could just not make the catch. No defender was really right up on him. They were in the area, but he plainly kind of just dropped it.
I think it's one of those plays where you sense you're about to take a hit, so maybe you tense up, you get ready for that hit before you catch the ball, and just can't bring it down.
3rd down and 6 now. The ball's on the South Dakota 47. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Now Amar Johnson goes out into pass formation, and Gronowski's just going to keep it up the middle. Goes past the 45. He keeps on pushing all the way down to the 40, past the first down marker, and finally the referees step in and call the ball dead. The Jackrabbit offense is signaling first down, but there's a flag over on the 49-yard line, so we'll have to clean that up first.
That might be a false start.
Some confusion here. Let's wait to hear from referee David Hergert. It's going to be offsides on South Dakota. So it will be a first down for SDSU no matter how you slice it, but I believe the ball carrier Gronowski got to it anyway. So the ball will be on the 40-yard line, spotted in between the hash mark with 13:26 left to go here in the first half. We're still tied at 7 between USD and SDSU.
The USD D lineman did a really good job of convincing me that it was a false start, but the offsides gives the Jackrabbits a bit more life, a bit more momentum.
2 receivers bunch towards the right side, turns and hands off to Angel Johnson, Amar Johnson that is, and he gets met at the 40-yard line. They'll give him the 41, and that might be a loss of 1. So 2nd down and 11 coming up for SDSU, dressed in their all blues here tonight. USD in their black helmets, white jerseys, black pants.
Tevin McKelvey really blocked up the running lanes. There really wasn't anywhere to go to the entire play. Just an unfortunate part of football life.
Now a 2-by-2 set, Gronowski dropping back. He's going to throw it or run with it, and the pocket collapses around him, and he gets brought down at the 46-yard line of South Dakota. The defense got to him. The offensive line held up as long as they could, but they buckled under the pressure, and Gronowski goes down for quite a bit of a loss. Going to set up a 3rd down and 16.
Marquise Grace with the sack, and that was, I don't think you can even necessarily say that was that was definitely in part a coverage sack. There wasn't a lot of places to throw that ball, but the D-line was also getting there. Both sides, the secondary and the D-line, did a pretty good job getting to the quarterback.
Gronowski's going to throw it. He dumps it off at the 45. Amar Johnson tries to spin around, and USD gets to him. Drops him behind there, and it's going to be a gain, but not nearly close enough to the first down marker. In fact, did not even get back to the original line of scrimmage. Will be a 4th down and long as they show the replay up on the video board.
Gary Bryant III again with the tackle.
Some of the crowd starts muttering. wondering if it could be a potential face mask, but SDSU is going to go ahead and punt it away, but not before a flag flies from the near sideline. And we'll see what happens here. So false start on SDSU, and this drive could have only gotten worse if you gave up a turnover that resulted in a touchdown pretty much right away.
Yeah, rough drive. I think at the beginning there was definitely some life to it, but that tackle for loss, there was already signs that this wasn't a fabulous drive. Tackle for loss, a dropped pass, a sack.
And the punt's going to go down and get picked up inside the 10-yard line, and they'll mark them at the 9. So we'll go ahead and step aside once again. You're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegiate Sports. We're tied at 7, and we'll be back right after this.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no, 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 no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that catch-up.
Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by locally owned Brookings PowerQuest. Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, PowerQuest is a one-stop shop for Brookings.
Support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more,
Welcome back here to Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium. 7-7 the score, and USD backed up on their own 9-yard line after the excellent punt from one Hunter Dustman.
Love having good special teams. Love that. Pressure them, make them aware of where they are. Make them aware of where they are on the field. Just that psychological component of the game is so important.
So after a loss of 1 on the play, going to be a 2nd down and 11. Now ball on their own 8-yard line. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right for USD's Aiden Bauman, the quarterback. He's standing in shotgun. He takes the snap, dropping down. He looks to throw to the near side. It's going to be caught at the 12 before he's hit and forced out of bounds. The tight end, that's going to be Zach Witt, the tight end, junior tight end from Sioux Falls.
And Colby Hoyter, the strong safety, after that tackle, he let him know what was up. He stared him down and let him know, hey, I'm not going to let you have an easy game. I'm going to make these hits hurt. Know where you are. This crowd certainly let them know where they are right now on third down.
3rd down and 7. Triplets towards the right. A single receiver left. Working from right to left is USD, backed up inside their own territory. It's caught behind the 15, and SDSU gets to it and makes the stop there. Not even letting them near the 1st down marker. And there's going to be a flag on the far side. Numbers.
That was an LGC 3rd down stop.
So the Jackrabbits stomp them on 3rd down.
It was a bit scary there for a second. There was they threw the flag for an offensive pass interference penalty.
So USD is going to go ahead and punt it away. Their punter standing inside the own end zone gets to punt it away from the 2, actually, and it's going to be brought down at the 45 of SDSU. Now hurtling over the 50, spins and ends up at the 45 of South Dakota. Where they're going to mark it, I think it's going to be at the 46, but both teams come out onto the field, and there's a timeout. We'll go ahead and step aside with them. We're tied at 7 still. 8 minutes, 51 seconds remain here in the 2nd quarter. You're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegian Sports.
Support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast. This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by locally owned Brookings PowerQuest. Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, PowerQuest is a one-stop shop for Brookings. Their phone number is 692-6298. PowerQuest is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7.
Support.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets, and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back here to Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium, 7-7 the score, 8:48 left to go here in the second quarter. First down and 10 starting on the 46-yard line. SDSU moving from left to right as we see it up here. Braden Byers, Jacob Brendy with you, and Ben Anderson helping us out as well up here in the booth. No gain on the play. On the first down play, sets up a second down and 10, now past 8.5 minutes remaining. We're going to have a single receiver to the right and two receivers lining up close to the offensive line on the left side. Gronowski, the quarterback, going to clap his hands, drop back, and look towards the near side, and it's going to be caught. Falling down, catching it is going to be Graham Goring. He's going to get down to the 31-yard line, and a first down for SDSU as they move the chains, and we move past 8 minutes left in the second.
Corner was playing inside coverage. I don't think he anticipated it being an out-breaking route. I think he thought that was going to be a seam route. So he had some separation on that route. He was able to bring it in without taking a big hit, and those hits build up over time, so good on him.
Two receivers to either side. Chase Mason in there now. He's going to drop back, and he's going to throw it out in the flat on the near side. Amar Johnson catches it. His mouth guard flies out, or something flies off of his body. He tries to get past the original line of scrimmage. He does not do that, and I believe they're going to say it's just a no gain on that first down play. Once again, going to be second down and 10, and the ball still going to be on the South Dakota 31.
Yeah, we had Gabriel Hardman, the backup weak side linebacker, on that tackle, and Chase Mason just didn't really have a lot of places to throw it to, so he took the check down and was able to pick up a good amount of yards.
Going to go ahead and keep it himself, Will Mason, coming off the left edge of the offensive line. He gets a reasonable gain on that one, gets past the 30-yard line, and I think down to either the 28 or 27. So a third down and manageable here now for the Jackrabbits as they try to put some more points up on the board. The first two drives of the game brought us these two touchdowns that each team has, and now it's been pretty much radio silence since then.
Both teams are tremendous defenses for a reason. You know, Jackrabbits had 120 yards for this drive.
Trips right, single receiver left. He's going to throw to that single receiver on the left side numbers. It's going to be the far side pass, the 15, trying to push his way closer to the 10. He's going to get to the 13-yard line, and that's where they'll set up with a fresh set of downs. They get the first down on that one, and they move the chains closer to the south end zone. Mike
Reed on the tackle, and they really are having themselves a drive right now. The passing game is setting up. Screens, the runs, beautiful football.
6 minutes left in the second quarter. Now Gronowski back in there. He's going to be in shotgun with a crowded backfield. Amar and Angel Johnson. He's going to turn and hand it to Angel. He bounces his way past the 10-yard line before he's hit and brought down just shy of the 5-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 6, and the first down marker is sitting at the 3. So 3 yards to go here to get that first down, 6 yards to go to get that touchdown, and 5.5 minutes remaining in the second.
With that kind of time on the clock, you have to start thinking about, hey, you score quickly, you get a stop, you're going to have time to have another drive this half and then start off the third quarter with the ball.
Mason takes the snap. It's going to be a run up the gut. Someone has the ball, not quite sure who. He gets close to the end zone. Did Mason keep it? And flags fly behind on the edge of the end zone, inside of it, close to the field goal posts. And I'm talking multiple flags fly at the same time and emphatically as well. So Chase Mason was the one who got the carry. He just kept the ball straight up.
Personal foul, baseman.
Dennis Shorter the safety on the face mask. And to put it bluntly, so to speak, these two teams hate each other. And while I'm not saying that was an intentional face mask, these sort of things happen in the heat of the moment, but emotion runs high and you make mistakes.
Gonna hand off. Amar Johnson trying to get into the end zone, and he does. That's a Jackrabbit touchdown, and they take the lead here. Going to be 13-7 with 4:53 remaining on the second quarter clock.
That was just a great drive. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we take a look at it. 7 plays. They get the ball in a favorable spot, really, they do. But they work well, they work down the field, and they capitalize, and they get now 6 more points, and we're waiting on the 7th, potentially here from one Hunter Dustman.
And that's why you emphasize special teams.
And they're going to go ahead and review the touchdown, actually, just to make sure that he did indeed get into the end zone.
I think I understand with it being tied up, not a lot of time in the second. I can understand wanting to review it, but from my angle, the way the pile was moving, it definitely seemed like a touchdown, but
we should preface as well, our angle is not a good angle either. We are on the opposite side of the field. But you're right, it did look like a touchdown, and the replay going on the video board here, and
ooh.
Yeah, it looks like he got in. The question is, did his knee touch down before he got the ball across the goal line? He ended up over the goal line, but did his knee go down right there before the ball gets across? That's what they're going to be looking for.
I'll tell you what, in my biased opinion, certainly did seem like that ball got across.
As Hot to Go plays, my 2 announcers to the right of me are having a great time.
Oh, I just love music. I just love music.
And the touchdown will stand, and by a great time for them, not such a great time for my eyes, as their dance moves are less than beautiful. I'm joking.
Well, speaking of Hot to Go, the offense, as I have said, is looking hot in the sense that they are moving the ball well. As I was saying with special teams, as they get ready to try for the extra point.
The snap, the spot, and the kick are good. Dustman puts it through, and it's 14-7. With 4:53 remaining in the second.
Anyways, 7-play drive started off at about the Jackrabbits' 45-yard line. This is why you emphasize special teams. When you're playing against a great defense, and while the offense has looked pretty good for the most part, when you're playing against a great defense, you'll take as many yards as you want off of a punt. When you're able to pin them down in their 10 and you can hold them there and just have that circulating in their mind that if they have to punt in that area, that ball's going to end up at around the 50-yard line, and I'd rather start a drive on the 50 than the 20.
So we'll go ahead and step aside here. 14-7, SDSU leads it over USD. 4:53 remains here in the second quarter. And we'll be back right after this. You're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegiate Sports. (14-7) the score as SDSU tees it up and gets ready to kick it away here from left to right as we see it. Braden Byers, Jacob Brendy, and Ben Anderson all having a good time here during the Interstate Series game here for this 2024 season in Brookings. A kick from Dustbin will sail into the end zone, hits on the checkerboards, and goes out for a touchback.
Like I mentioned with the time, you got 4:53 on the clock. Never know any given drive, right? Any given drive, anything can happen. You don't want to sell out to the run. You don't want to allow a big gain, especially because they're looking to gain some momentum, the Coyotes. But in the event you are able to get some timely stops and get some time on the clock, try for a field goal, Jackrabbits can, and then enter the third with the ball.
Single receiver close to the offensive line. Bauman's going to go ahead and get it to Dice, who gets across the line of scrimmage and about a gain of 2 yards. So a 2nd down and 8 coming up here for USD. As a reminder, stick around during halftime. We'll have a look at the halftime stats. The scores from around the top 10 of the FCS and the Missouri Valley Football Conference, as we're knee-deep now here in the Missouri Valley Football Conference schedule. 2 receivers to the right. Bauman dropping back, a play action. He sets up and throws on the far sideline. Going to be caught at the 45-yard line. An excellent catch there from Carter Bell. That'll move the chains and get the Coyotes close to midfield here. And with now 4 minutes remaining here in the second half.
Yep, 2 safeties playing the middle of the field and the left side of the field. So that was just a one-on-one matchup. Corner route. Great catch. Great throw, great catch. Just don't want to let that happen again.
1st down and 10 on their own 46-yard line. USD working right to left as we see it here. The quarterback's just going to go ahead and keep it. A new quarterback in there. We'll get his name in a second. At 50, 45, and 40. Coming down, that is going to be Navon Cremasoli. So another 1st down for USD as they move it now back up to the 40.
Yeah, they are moving the ball well. It's only been 2-3 plays, but they're fighting for momentum. They're fighting for any point. 3, 6, 7, anything.
Bauman under center and a little bit of movement up front, and a procedure penalty coming on one of these 2 teams, and it looks like it's going to be a false start on South Dakota, judging by the umpire's signals to the referee.
That, as they call the false start, is a momentum killer. As I just said, they're fighting for momentum. They want any points. Obviously, a team wants any points that they can have, but especially with the team getting the Jackrabbits getting the ball in the 3rd quarter, they want any points, and that certainly is not what they wanted right about now.
Joe Cotton, the sophomore from Sioux Falls, jumps. USD now has it. Bauman sent over the middle. It's caught at the 40, but a big hit coming courtesy of Tucker Large.
Tucker Large, yeah, that was a big hit. Remember me hit. Love that term. Remember me. When you throw in the middle of the field, let the quarterback know, hey, this isn't a safe area of the field.
Javion Phelps, the wide receiver who caught it. Just a short 1-yard gain on that play. A 2nd down and 9 now. The ball still near the 40, now at the 39. Dropping back Bauman. He's going to be hit as he throws. It's going to be incomplete, and going right in there, Dayton McGoy with the stop, and the incompletion will set up a 3rd down and 9 yards to go on the Jackrabbit 39.
One of the DBs slipped during that play, but that's just great defense. one of your players is out of position, figuring it out on the fly and preventing a gain.
So a timeout on the field. We'll go ahead and take it with them. 14-7. It's coming down to the wire here in the second half. 1:59 in the 2-minute timeout. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Collegiate Sports, broadcasting Jackrabbit football.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no, 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 no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back here at Dana J. Duckhouse Stadium. 14-7 the score, 1:59 left to go here in the half. Right out of the 2-minute timeout, where it's going to be USD on the 39-yard line of the Jackrabbits. They have a 3rd down and 9 yards to go. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Dropping back, going to be Bauman. There's a little room to run with on the far side if he wanted it, but he throws it down the field. It's going to be caught near the 15-yard line.
That was great pocket presence. Aiden Bauman feeling the pressure. Jackrabbits blitzed, and he just shifted his body. He moved and was able to get the big gain.
Karan Jones making the big catch at the 10-yard line. And they're going to go ahead and take a look at this one.
I think they're going to look at possession, whether he was able. I think he caught it in his hands for sure, but let's see. Maybe it bobbled a bit.
Possibly. See if we can get a replay at all anywhere.
Seems like we're going to be on our own. No replay, but oh, never mind.
So he catches it. It almost might be bobbling, and it looks like it's going to be incomplete. From what we can see and from what the crowd sees, I mean, that doesn't look like a catch.
You know, he was fighting for the ball, and at the end, he had two hands at it, but as he went down, that became one, and that ball looked like that rolled out of his hands. That's going to be an incompletion. That's going to be a 4th and 10. That is going to be a punt.
Now Bauman was rolling out towards his right. He's a left-handed quarterback, so he's throwing from the right side of the field all the way to the left side. And that would have been a hard catch to make. That was a hard catch to make, and by all technicality, he caught it. He caught the ball. But it's probably not going to be a catch in terms of the rules of the game of football.
Of the rules of the game of football, exactly. He didn't have clear possession the entire time. He didn't land and have possession with the ball. It was definitely moving, and if this was backyard football, this would be something to cheer about. But right now, well, the Jackrabbit fans will be cheering for something.
And they're already setting up the field how it previously was. The referee hasn't taken the headset off yet, but I think both teams know what the case is going to be. And here is David Hergert going to be given the call. And it will be an incomplete pass. So it will be 4th down and 9 on the 39-yard line.
Hey, and 1:47 seconds. You know what that's enough time for?
A
touchdown.
Score. Yep.
Or a field
score.
goal.
Yep. Absolutely. So Dallas Beanham's going to be spotted up at the Jackrabbit 6-yard line.
As we're waiting for the punt,
Tyler.
North Dakota State, Youngstown State, close fight.
The ball's going to be brought down by Beanham at the 2-yard line. The punt from Ebel about as best as you could get it in this situation.
Yeah, North Dakota, Youngstown State. North Dakota up 34-31. 1:38 in the 4th, but look out, Youngstown State, they have the football at UND's 20-yard line.
Yeah, the late kickoff for the Fighting Hawks, harkening back to the old Big Sky days when they had to kick off, going in accordance with a bunch of Mountain Time and Pacific Time teams playing in the Central Time Zone. But yeah, some fun stuff going down out there in Ohio. Here, the Jackrabbits backed up on their own 2-yard line. Gronowski's going to fake the handoff, and the fake was pretty good. He just hesitated a little bit. He ran with it a little bit too late, and a 2-yard gain on that one. He's going to be at about the 5.5-yard line, and a timeout going to be called down on the field. So 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it here in a 14-7 ball game between two rivals from the Rushmore State.
Yeah, I know I was very adamant about driving down the field and scoring a touchdown. It's easy to say that in the press box, but you also have to seriously consider, what if you can't convert?
Yep.
You don't want to give the Coyotes another opportunity to score anything. So play smart. And go into halftime with the lead.
So 2nd down and 7 now. The ball going to be on the 6-yard line. Trips to the left. Now a motion coming across from Stoffel. They have a single receiver on the near side, and now Stoffel's going to catch it at the 10-yard line. The pass from Gronowski, and he's going to fall out of bounds at that 10-yard line.
That's an important distinction to make. He fell out of bounds, so that's going to stop the clock.
3rd down and short, 3 yards to the first down marker, 1 minute and 32 seconds left in the half. The Jackrabbits are up 14-7, and they're trying to further that lead as both these teams will go into the halftime locker room. 2 receivers left. Amar Johnson out in the flat, and Gronowski's just going to keep it up the middle. A big hit there by the linebacking core of South Dakota. It's going to be a 1st down for the Jackrabbits, but a big hit for Gronowski there. He's looking fine, though. He gets right back up. Still the field general that he is, barking orders to his team, asking the referees asking the clock to run here, as it was a run, and they throw it to the near sideline. Amar Johnson, He's going to catch it and go out of bounds in between the 19 and the 20.
Definitely sacrificed his body there on that run. That was a big hit towards the top of his body, and you're putting so much on the line when you play this sport, but that was such a close first down.
Gain of 7, a 2nd down and 3. 2-by-2 set with Amar Johnson in the backfield with Gronowski standing at the 15-yard line. The ball's at the 20. Dropping back, Gronowski's going to pass it over the middle into a little bit of double coverage. It hit Stoffel right in the hands. He wasn't able to come down with it, so it'll be incomplete. It'll save some time at 1:14. It'll stop the clock, but a 3rd down and 3, upcoming here now for the Jackrabbits.
Absolutely manageable. Yep, hit him in the hands, but when I say hands, I mean more maybe fingertips. Double coverage, that's always going to be a tough throw, and especially when you're at this side of the field, you don't want to throw a pick.
Ball at their own 20-yard line, a 3rd down and 3. 1:14 left to go here in the second quarter. 2 receivers left, and 3 receivers going to go out for a pass on the near side, and Gronowski's going to out-throw or throw a little bit too high for Amar Johnson. It's going to fall incomplete and set up at a 4th down and 3, and the punt unit's going to come out for SDSU, and the punt return unit will come out for USD.
That's just unfortunate, an unfortunate overthrow, especially with USD hungry. But the punt team, the special teamers have been doing good, so just pin them back as far as you can and let your defense do the rest.
Dustman's going to punt it from the 10. The returner going to call a fair catch. It's going to be caught, and that's going to be Bell that catches it at the 38-yard line. So a couple seconds over a minute and 3 seconds for USD to try and drive down the field and potentially could tie this thing up going into halftime.
You're on your 38. You're at least probably trying to shoot for, if you can get to the SDSU 35, that's still a 52-yard kick, but it's a kick you can definitely make.
So Bauman's coming out. He's dropping back, and he's going to throw it out in the flat on the far side. 35-40, makes a tackler miss at the 45, and finally corralled down right at the first down marker, which is standing at the 48. A flag going to be down in the backfield where South Dakota had everything set up. We'll see what happened here. It's going to be holding on South Dakota, so that'll back the Coyotes up here. And on the flip side, if you're looking at it from their perspective, that's definitely something that they don't want either.
Yeah, with that check down that he was barely able to make, you're scrambling. If you're a wide receiver, you're scrambling to make a block and got tagged with the hold.
2 receivers trot out to the right, and there's 1 receiver in a slot position on the near side. Bowman's going to take the snap. Dropping back, sending over the middle, going to be caught at the 30, now the 35. Trying to angle his way for a few more yards is going to be Theis on the reception. As the timeout's going to be called by USD. Again, we'll keep it here. 32 seconds remain in the half. A 14-7 lead for SDSU over USD in half number 1 of the Interstate Series.
This is a fun one. It's a pretty good football weather. The stands, the fans are roaring. It's been a good game so far. And I think you can say that regardless of who you're cheering for.
Absolutely been a fun game, at least from our point of view up here in the press box. 19,351 the official attendance here today.
How many people can the Superdome hold?
Yeah, we're nowhere near as close to that one, but definitely a good-sized crowd here and a loud one as the Coyotes are backed up on their own 36, a 2nd down and 12 as they rise to volume. Dropping back, Bauman gonna step up, and he's going to dump it off to Tice, and it's going to fall incomplete. It went in and out of his arms, and the incomplete pass will set up a 3rd down and 12.
There's definitely some red in the stands. There's definitely some USD fans trying to cheer their boys on, but just the response from this SDSU crowd has been phenomenal, especially on as they stand up and roar 3rd down.
Some movement on the line. USD's pointing to SDSU, SDSU's pointing to USD. You know how it goes. We'll see what actually happened when it all works out in the wash. And the referees let us know here. It's going to be offsides on South Dakota State. So that's going to move USD up to the 41-yard line.
Give them a much more manageable 3rd and 7.
They move past the original line of scrimmage. So you're right, they're back within that normal 10-yard area. And now this is just a longer 3rd down instead of a 3rd down and long. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Bauman's going to try and send it down the field. There was some contact on the near sideline. I feel like Jack Martins probably wanted a little bit of a call there. Bauman was expecting him to be downfield, and he just got tied up with the defense. So a 4th down for USD as well. 7 yards to go to the 1st down, and they'll just go ahead and punt it away. The ball's on their own 41, and out trots the punter here, Tyler Ebel. Again, Beanham back to receive it. The punt gets away from the 30, and it's going to hit inside the 10, bounce at the 2, and USD tries to keep it out of the end zone. No such luck. It will be a touchback for SDSU. 13 seconds left here in the 2nd quarter. Still 14-7. South Dakota State leads it over the University of South Dakota. So 13 seconds. The ball is going to be at the 20. And I presume SDSU to just kneel it down and take it to the half. And that's exactly what they're going to do here. Gronowski puts knee to turf. And we go into halftime with a 14-7 lead for South Dakota State. The Coyotes are putting up a fight here in the 2024 edition of the Interstate Series. We'll go ahead and take a break here. When we come back, we'll have some analysis, some stats, and some scores from around the Missouri Valley Football Conference and maybe more. You're listening to Jackrabbit Football here on Collegian Sports.
From the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by locally owned Brookings PowerQuest. Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, PowerQuest is a one-stop shop for Brookings. Their phone number is 692-6298. PowerQuest is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7. This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by DO Bike and Fitness. Located at 1738 6th Street in Brooklyn, South Dakota, DO is a place for all things bikes. Offering top brands such as Trek and Electra, this close-to-campus store has both bike and e-bike options. Remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a bike, and that's pretty close. 692-2022 is the number to call for this full-service and sales store. DO is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners. Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Welcome in to the Collegian Halftime Report here for South Dakota State University football versus interstate rival, the University of South Dakota Coyotes. So, halftime here, the score, it's 14-7 as the Jacks lead it. And let's take a look at some stats throughout this game. Big time team stats, everything looks very similar. Now, the two biggest things that I see differentiating these teams is rushing effectiveness. The University of South Dakota not able to put much together rushing. They have 34 yards combined. Compare that to SDSU's 89 throughout the first half. Also, take a look at third down conversions. USD has been 1 for 5 on third down here in the first half. Compare that to the Jackrabbits. They're 5 for 7. USD has 7 first downs compared to the Jackrabbits 12. Otherwise, everything else has been pretty standard. USD has 89 passing yards. Compare that to SDSU's 93. And everything else pretty similar as well. Time of possession, 14:09 for USD, 15:51 for the Jackrabbits. Player-wise, Gronowski is 9 for 12 completions for 93 yards passing. Chase Mason also had a passing attempt. He's 1 for 1 for 0 yards there. Couldn't get any. Rushing for SDSU, it's Angel Johnson, the main back here tonight. He has 7 attempts for 35 yards. And Mark Gronowski, of course, always a lead rusher. He's 7 attempts and 34 yards there. The receiving back, though, Amar Johnson, he has led the team in receptions so far tonight. He has 3 of those for 8 yards. For the deep ball, it's Griffin Wilde. Of course, he has 2 receptions for 32 yards as well. On the USD side, Bauman, he's 10 for 16 on pass attempts tonight for 98 yards. Completion percentage of 63. And rushing-wise, it's Thesis. He has 7 attempts for 24 yards in total, as well as a touchdown tonight. And then it's Bell receiving for USD, has 4 catches tonight for 44 yards, a long of 18. And Martins, he has 2 receptions for 36 yards and a long of 27. So that's the score tonight. In this one, it's, of course, 14-7. Jackrabbits are ahead. Let's take a look at some of the scores around the Missouri Valley Football Conference tonight. It is a close one over in Ohio. North Dakota versus Youngstown State. North Dakota is 5-2, 2-1 in the Missouri Valley, and Youngstown is 2-6, 1-3 in Missouri Valley. That game went into overtime as Youngstown State drove into UND territory and was able to kick a field goal, tying it up at 34-all. That game just concluded as of now, as North Dakota scored first in overtime, bringing their score up to 40, but not able to get the extra point. They missed it, so it was a 6 points there. Youngstown State took over and scored a touchdown as well. They are able to put the extra point through the uprights. Final score there as of just this second. It's 41-40. Youngstown State defeats North Dakota. This is the only game active in Missouri Valley right now. South Dakota State versus South Dakota. We're at halftime. Earlier today, North Dakota State defeated 1-7 Murray State 59-6. Murray State not able to score a touchdown in that one. 2 field goals for them. Missouri State able to defeat Northern Iowa 49-42 with their points coming in the third quarter. They scored 3 touchdowns there. And then, of course, it's Southern Illinois and Indiana State. Indiana State wins that one 20-17. Looking at what's coming up for South Dakota State, next week they take on Murray State right here in Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium. It's Military Appreciation Night in the Precision Ag Bowl. Then they go over to North Dakota and play it in Grand Forks. Then on November 16th, we come right back here for the Southern Illinois game at Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium. And it's going to be senior day there as well. Then the final game of the season, we go over to Springfield, Missouri, and play Missouri State. So that's their halftime report here on the Collegian. We've got plenty of football left to play here coming up in the third and fourth quarters, so make sure you stick around for that. Otherwise, you're listening to Collegian Sports. I have been Ben Anderson for your halftime report. I'll be back for the post game you'll hear me again. Otherwise, it's Braden Byers and Jacob going to be taking it over now for the rest of your play-by-play.
Support comes
This
from the South
portion of
Dakota
KSDJ
Agricultural Heritage
90.7's
Museum
broadcast
in
is brought to you by
Inspiring
locally
a
owned
passion
Brookings
for the
Parkway.
diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, CarQuest is a one-stop shop for Brookings. Their phone number is 692-6298. CarQuest is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7. This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by DO Bike and Fitness. Located at 1738 6th Street in Brookings, South Dakota, DO is a place for all things bikes. Offering top brands such as Trek and Electra, this close-to-campus store has both bike and e-bike options. Remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a bike, and that's pretty close. 692-2022 is the number to call for this full-service and sales store. DO is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets, and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
14-7 here at halftime between SDSU and USD. We're a couple minutes from getting the second half kicked off here. South Dakota State starting off South Dakota starting off this game. They got the ball first. They drove 10 plays, 65 yards, got the touchdown. Extra point was good. Then immediately after the exact next play, SDSU comes back. They drive 80 yards in 7 plays, and they get a touchdown as well. Then we had a little bit of then we had 2 consecutive punts. Another punt from USD, then coming back, SDSU drove 46 yards in 8 plays. They scored a touchdown, and then 3 consecutive punts to end off the half. 14-7 the score. SDSU up on top in front of over 19,000 fans here at Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium. Another night game. It's an excellent atmosphere. You know, I kind of like these night games, to be honest. It makes me feel cool, but that's beside the point. 14-7 the score. We'll go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we'll have the second half kickoff for you right here on Collegian Sports.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Get hurt. Get hurt.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Are you?
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
To 7, we have it here at halftime. SDSU up over USD in this year's installment of the Interstate Series. Glad to have you along with us here. Braden Byers, Jacob Brendy, Ben Anderson, who is leaving. All having a great time up here for this rivalry matchup. And a rivalry matchup, Jacob, that's been close throughout this first half, something that we haven't seen in the last couple of years. Any thoughts to give us before we kick it off here?
Well, I think one of the big parts of that that contributes to South Dakota leading is the Coyotes have recorded 48 chunk plays of 20 or more yards this season. 19 of those ending up in a touchdown. They're an explosive offense, and apart from, you know, maybe a run or two or a catch, they really haven't been generating a lot of explosive plays. They've really been fighting for every single yard.
As the second half kickoff sails into the north end zone, and it'll be a touchback for South Dakota State as we get this thing started in front of 19,351 fans, the 5th largest crowd in stadium history. Got knocked out of the top 4. We were looking at it by the game against Augustana earlier on this year, but an excellent crowd here tonight, braving a little bit of the chilly weather. I heard from talking to some of the other media members, particularly Ian Wetzel, a photographer for the Collegian. He said it's chilly down there, and we're not feeling the full effects of it up here. We have a window open, but we're still inside.
Oh, I'll take this. I'll take the indoors any day.
Gronowski throws down in the flat to the far side. It's going to be caught now going up past the 30-yard line, going to be up at the 31, and that's going to be a completion to Kentrell Prejean, the redshirt freshman receiver out of Lafayette, Louisiana. Going to be a 2nd down and 4 here for SDSU, moving left to right in their all blue uniforms, blue helmets, blue jerseys, blue pants, as we see it. They're going up against the South Dakota Coyotes in their black helmets with their new Coyote logo on the side, the white jerseys, and black pants. Gronowski fakes the handoff, throws it out in the flat again on the far side, going to be caught right at the 30-yard line, actually going to be a loss of 1. And it's going to be a pass complete from one quarterback to another. Gronowski to Mason. Going to be the completion there.
Ain't that something? Now, there's a lot of, on that play, read about 3 fade or go or 9, whatever you wish to describe the route. A lot of long developing plays that were really bottled up by, they played it deep. They had their safeties deep and just couldn't get anything with that.
Third down and 5 now. There we go. Now I'm back to normal. hit a button on hit a button on our brand new board, and we're still trying to figure it out here. But go ahead, try play-by-play. Let's go. It's not going to be live. It's going to be a recap. But
well, Gronowski's pass was tipped, and what I thought was going to be an interception by the Coyotes was instead a catch by Gronowski, and he was able to run it in for about 3 or 4 yards and ended up shy of the first down, but was able to mitigate a potential disaster.
Yep, and while you were recapping that, a punt going to be brought down at the 20-yard line to our right by South Dakota, and that's where they're going to start things off here in their first offensive drive of the second half. See, we're all about education here at Collegian Sports. So USD, what are we looking for from their offense here in the second half to try and first off tie it and again retake the lead as they had before in this game?
Well, I can't say that they've been running the ball particularly well. They're looking at about 98 yards on 16 carries, 10 carries, my bad. One of those was a 27-yarder. So they're running the ball not very frequently, and some of that is probably coming from the tremendous South Dakota run defense. Even if you mitigate that 27-yard, I apologize, I was looking at the wrong statistics. It's actually 38 yards on 12 attempts, which is not fantastic. If you can get that run game going, you can get your pass game going, and you have a much more synchronized offense.
2nd down and 6 coming up behind the quarterback. Going to get past the 25 and maybe a couple yards extra. Only looks like 1 extra actually at the 26 is where they're going to mark it here. So a 3rd down and shorter to go now, as just over a minute has gone by here in the second half so far. A 3rd down and 5 coming up here for USD. Two receivers right, 2 receivers left. The receivers on the left bunched up with each other in between the numbers and the hash mark. Bowman going to throw it on the far side. Numbers falling over and catching it is going to be Karan Adams, the sophomore receiver out of Phoenix. He's going to move the chains, and USD is going to have a fresh set of downs at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, I was looking at Aiden Bauman's stats, and speaking of the rushing offense not doing too well, he's 10 of 16, so completion rating wise, not too bad, but they're going to need a bit more of that passing game.
Bauman comes behind him, sends it down the field, and that's going to be a pass coming from Carter Bell all the way down the field. It was caught at the 40, and finally wrestled down is going to be Jack Martins, the wide receiver. Bauman kind of flipped it behind him to his wide receiver, Bell, and he threw it down the field on the far sidelines to Martins, and that's an excellent play. It flips the field a little bit here and puts the Coyotes at the 39-yard line.
Maybe it'd be better if I didn't mention quarterback passing stats. No, that was a good play, and every successful pass will open up the run game a bit more. Every run will open up the passing game, and that's what we're starting to see.
10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The snap goes between Bauman's legs. It actually hit him in the shin, bounced off a few feet away from him, and he jumped down on it as it bounced just horizontally on the 45-yard line. So at the 45 is where they're going to have it, and that's going to be a loss of 6 there. So a second down and 16 for USD, backed up now to the Jackrabbit 45.
Yeah, they're lucky. Looked like Graham Spalding was gunning for that ball.
So now 2 receivers left. Bauman is going to look that way. He's actually going to throw over the middle. Caught at the 45, wrestled down at the 43 is where they're going to stop him. And on the catch, Charles Pierre Jr. A 3-yard gain there for USD. Will now bring up a third down and 14 to go. They're inside Jackrabbit territory, so you have to think, are the Coyotes potentially, if they don't get this one, are they gutsy enough to potentially go for it, or are they going to punt it? They're going to try a field goal. We'll see after this play as Bauman throws it. It's going to hit short of his wide receiver. It was aiming for Javion Phelps, but it falls incomplete. So now 4th down, and yep, they're going to go ahead and bring some sort of special teams unit out there, and it looks like it's going to be the punt unit.
Yeah, Dallas Beanham in coverage, and there was potential there. There was definitely, he had some, I don't want to say yards, but he had some space on Dallas, and that could have definitely a better throw. That could have been a first down.
A high end over end punt going to be received at the 12-yard line of the Jackrabbits by Dallas Beanham, and that's where they'll set up for their second offensive drive of this second half. 8 minutes 32 seconds remaining, 14-7. The Jackrabbits still lead it. And here we'll go ahead and step aside once again. You're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegian Sports.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Get prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no, 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 no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that catch-up.
Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Fourteen to 7, the score. 8.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Glad to have you along with us here on Collegian Sports, Collegian Media YouTube channel for SDSU versus USD. The Jackrabbits starting it with the ball on their own 12-yard line. A handoff straight up the gut, not going much of anywhere. Got about 3 yards there on that one. So a decent gain, but definitely could have wanted more on that one.
Absolutely. It opens up some in-breaking routes, just having a bit more space, but he ran into a brick wall there. That looked painful.
Second down and 7 now, just under 8 minutes left in the third. Gronowski will hand it off to Angel Johnson at the 15-20. Now the 25 and the 30. Breaking out to the near sideline, 40 and the 45. He stumbles across it, being brought down by Josiah Ganuz from USD. But an excellent run there from Angel Johnson to get the Jackrabbits close to midfield and get them that first down.
That was patience. That was sight. That was vision. I don't want to draw lofty comparisons, but that reminded me of a certain running back out in San Francisco.
I was hoping you'd say Isaiah Davis, but like.
That also reminded me of Isaiah Davis.
There you go. Near side receiver, now a handoff to Angel again. This time he's going to be stuffed after a gain of 2. So second down and 8 after that gain. Going to have it at the 49-yard line of South Dakota State. Coming out of the offensive huddle now, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Angel Johnson in the backfield beside Gronowski. He's going to step back and throw it now, sliding down to make the catch near the 45-yard line. Graham Goring. They're going to mark him actually at the 46 on the opposite side of the 50. So the Jackrabbits are in South Dakota territory. And now a third down and 2 upcoming here to try and get the first down. So we tick past the 6-minute mark left in this third frame. Two receivers right now. Wilde in the slot, Goring out wide. Now another handoff to Johnson. They try to get the first down, and it looks like it's going to be about a yard short. It's close. The two officials come in.
It looks like they're going to go for it.
And it will be a 4th down, and a 4th down and 1, and no hesitation at all. The same formation, Gronowski's just going to keep it. Gets hit hard coming off the right end of the offensive line, but they should have the 1st down after that one.
Yeah, that wasn't a traditional QB sneak where it was straight up the middle. It reminds me the Philadelphia Eagles with Jalen Hurts. They don't always run that sneak straight up the middle, but they're actually ruling it that he was short.
So USD celebrating on the opposite sideline. SDSU's offense will walk off the field, switching place with the defense. And they're going to call him short.
Yep, they're checking it. I definitely think it looked like he was in. What I was saying is they don't always run Jalen Hurts straight up the middle. They're not afraid to run him off to the side, and that's what Mark Gronowski did. Didn't go straight up the middle. I don't know if that was designed or if he just didn't like what he was seeing. That's such a quick developing play. You don't want to have any hesitancy. So I don't know. I think this is going to be close, but from our granted poor angle.
Yeah, we're better suited for reviews that are on the north side of the field instead of near midfield, but yeah, Gronowski got engaged pretty much right at the line of scrimmage, which, mind you, is 1 yard short of the line of scrimmage. The Jackrabbits are saying he twisted and was able to get it across the field, the 1st down marker. The Coyotes are saying that the engagement is where his forward progress stopped, and that would be 1 yard short.
Any turnover is a momentum changer, but right now with that offense, and that ruling stands.
It stands, not confirmed. Again, we have to be knowledgeable of the language there. It was not confirmed, but the ruling on the field being the fact that it was a 4th down and a turnover on downs, saying that it stands basically means they didn't have enough evidence to overturn it.
So absolutely. Hey, that's the risk you take, and I don't think it was a bad decision. There's nothing I have wrong with the decision. That run defense, just no movement on the offensive line. They were very stalwart. I think Mark Gronowski was designed to go straight up the middle, but there wasn't any movement with the offensive line, and I think which I think was a good decision, was to bounce out and see if he could get anything else. He didn't go out. It was a zone run, but just turning the corner, seeing if he could pick anything up, and they got the stop. And with a game that's this close, 1-possession game, they'll get the ball at the South Dakota 45-yard line. Maybe that's the spark the Coyotes need in this instance. This is where the defense has got to step up. They've been stepping up, and it could be a interesting, emotional, extreme type situation if they have all this energy and drive and hunger from getting this turnover on downs, and if they can't convert anything, if they have to punt, what does that mean for both teams?
So after the turnover on down, going to be 1st down and 10 from the South Dakota 44-43 yard line. We'll go ahead, step aside quick for another break. 14-7, the Jackrabbits still lead it. You're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegiate Sports.
Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
14-7, South Dakota State leads it here in the 2024 edition of the Interstate Series between the Coyotes and the Jackrabbits. Turnover on downs gives South Dakota the opportunity to have the ball at the 43-yard line. A run up coming around the near side gave them a 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard gain, and that's where we sit with 4:40 left on the third quarter clock. Single receiver to either side, now a motion coming from the near side receiver. Bauman's going to play action, and he'll throw it off to Theis, who spins out of a tackle, tries to break another one, lunges forward, and gets the ball up to the 48-yard line. Short of the first down still, but it'll be 3rd down and much more manageable than being backed up 7 yards behind. It's going to be a 3rd down and about 6. Some flags fly, and the Jackrabbits are saying that it's against USD, but
well, I'll tell you what, the USD players right now don't seem too thrilled. They're moving back, and that's going to be a false start for USD. And what was once a 3rd and 6, 3rd and manageable, is now going to be 3rd and 11. And you have all this momentum off the turnover, and now you have a procedural penalty, and now you're looking at a tough 1st down.
So 3rd down and 11. With 3.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. And a timeout going to be called by SDSU. We'll go ahead and take it with them once again. 3.5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter, 14-7. The score, South Dakota State leads South Dakota in the Interstate Series. You're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegiate Sports.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners. Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Fourteen to 7 the score. South Dakota State up over South Dakota. I hit the button again. I hit the wrong button again. I'll figure this thing out, Ben. I'll figure it out, I promise. 3.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. USD has it a 3rd down and 11. The ball's going to be on their own 43-yard line. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Bauman stepping back, the pocket collapsing around him. He sent it, almost picked off by Dallas Beanham. He was laying out for it, not able to bring it in, but an incomplete pass nonetheless, and a 4th down and 11 coming up for USD.
Yeah, so that timeout called by South Dakota State, I believe was called because looking at the safeties and the cornerbacks' just body language, it looked like they weren't 100% sure what was going on, but that defensive scheme that they just put out there, there was not many places to go.
The punt over to Beanham, and a fair catch going to be called near the 20-yard line. So the two teams will run out there, and with 3 minutes, 17 seconds left in the third, still only a touchdown separating these two teams.
Yeah, you don't want to get complacent. I'm positive that they aren't, but it's just the mindset you have to have. You score a touchdown here, 2-possession game, and with how the South Dakota State defense has played and the USD offense has played, a 2-touchdown lead could be enough. But even then, this is college football, and crazy things happen.
Gronowski will send it over on the far side. Numbers. It's going to be caught by Angel Johnson, who tries to spin out of a tackle but gets forced out of bounds. So what was a 1st and 10 on the 19-yard line will now be a 2nd down and 8 on the 21-yard line. Their own 21-yard line, backed up inside their own territory. After the gain of 2, 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Now spinning around at the line of scrimmage, going to be Amar Johnson, who got the handoff. It's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, actually, so it's going to be a loss on the play, a loss of about 2, but it gets them right back to the 19-yard line. 3rd down and 10 upcoming with 10.5 minutes left in the 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Getting down close to 2 minutes now. Gronowski going to take the snap, rolling out towards his right. He's at the 10, at the 15, now the 20. He's going to run with it at the 25 and gets upended at the 29-yard line. And it looks like a Coyote player a little bit slow to get up. It was the one on the tackle, Gary Bryant III. He does end up getting up.
First down.
And it'll be a 1st down for SDSU.
So you don't see a lot of usually you trade off speed for power. But Mark Gronowski, he's got wheels, and he took a big hit there at the end, but he's not an easy guy to bring down. And that was just he took what was given to him, which wasn't much, and he was able to get a first down.
Gronowski turns and hands off to Amar Johnson, gets met behind the line of scrimmage. He'll get tackled, I was going to say at the 25, but gets driven back to the 20. They'll give him the forward progress, and it'll be a loss of about 1, a second down, and 11 yards to go now as we tick under 1 minute left to go here in the third.
Yeah, this D-line and these linebackers and these calls, they're just playing intelligent. The Coyotes are playing intelligently and are really stifling this run game.
A 2-by-2 set after Wilde motions from the left to the right. Gronowski claps his hands twice, dropping back at the 20. He's going to step up and throw it. He has Wilde open at the 50-yard line, leaning backwards with the catch. They get the first down and much, much more. The Jackrabbits are up now to the... They are going to mark it right at the 50-yard line. A first down and 10. The clock continues to run here. 10 seconds left in the third. And I think they're just going to go ahead and let the rest of it run out. So we head to the fourth quarter with that amazing play right there. 14-7 is the score. SDSU up on top over in-state rivals South Dakota. And we'll be back here right after this. You're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegiate Sports.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're into the fourth quarter, 14-7. South Dakota State leads South Dakota here in this Interstate Series matchup between the Jackrabbits and the Coyotes. This game, honestly, going a lot like the game last week against North Dakota State. It's really coming down to the fourth quarter, and very well could come down to a last drive.
Absolutely.
to see what could happen and where this rivalry goes. USD has not won in Brookings for quite some time, and this is the best shot they've had in recent memory for sure. Down only 7 heading into the fourth frame.
Yeah, and let's talk real quick about that last play of the third quarter, that great pass. Mark Gronowski, I love it when quarterbacks aren't afraid to step up in the pocket, A lot of times when you get scared, just back up, back up, back up. But he stepped up in the pocket, he surveyed, and he was able to pull off a difficult throw. It was also a difficult catch.
SDSU in the midst of a 5-play, 31-yard drive. This one started back at the 19-yard line, their own 19-yard line, and now they're exactly at midfield. A 1st and 10. They have 2 receivers towards the right, none to the left. Gronowski turns and hands it to Amar Johnson, fights his way for a few yards, and it's going to be a gain of 3, sets up 2nd down and 7 as we get underway in the 4th.
Stop on the play was made Ball is at the 47 of the Coyotes.
Leading rusher so far, Angel Johnson, as he was in the halftime stats, 11 carries for 73 yards. Gronowski behind him, 9 for 48. Gronowski stepping back to pass. The pocket collapses, rolls out towards the near side. At the 45, he throws it, and diving for the catch, but it's going to be incomplete, saying he was out of bounds, was Angel Johnson. He laid out for it. He caught the ball, but again, within the rules of football, he did not have a catch in bounds, so it will fall incomplete.
Yeah, Mark Gronowski had to bail from the pocket. He rolled, and it was a good find. It was a good find. He didn't have any lanes to run. He was cut off. So he made the throw, catch, but not a catch in the rules of football, as you said.
3rd down and 7 now. 2 receivers right, and a couple more go out for a pass. Now he's got Graham Goring on the far side. It's complete on the 33-yard line. And a 1st down for South Dakota State. The catch on the far sideline. Goring proving to be a bit of a weapon here today for South Dakota State. 4 catches now in the game and over 35 yards now.
Graham Goring has he's been having himself I don't want to say quarter, 4th just started, but he's been having himself a drive. He's been coming up with some big plays, and
Gronowski will hand off now. Angel Johnson at the 30, tried to juke out of a tackle. He keeps piling forward. He didn't exactly make the tackler miss, but the tackler didn't get a good grip on him. He fights his way down to the 27, and a 1st down and 10 now turns to a 2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard gain.
Yeah, it almost seems redundant when you say the juke didn't fake him out, he just couldn't make the tackle. But that's really what happened. He tried to do the spin move, but just it was congested, and linebacker just couldn't make the tackle.
Wilde in motion, now a fake handoff, and Gronowski's going to take it. He gets wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage and gain tackled just shy of the 30-yard line at the 31. They'll give him the 30 and say that's where he eventually got to throughout the course of the play, but gets tackled for a loss, and now they're back to a 3rd and 7.
Well, they've been having to make some longer 3rd downs. 3rd and 7, that's still a distance. Important thing is to not take a sack. You are in field goal range. It's not going to be a tremendously easy one, but you're on the 32. That is makeable.
1st down marker on the 23. Trips right, and he's going to throw that way. It's going to be complete to Wilde at the 30. Spins out of a tackle, jukes another one, but eventually gets brought down right at the line of scrimmage at the 30. So we'll bring up 4th down, and I believe it's going to be about 7. Keeping the ball at the same spot after the play. And as we go a minute gone here in the 4th quarter, special teams out there to get this one away, and it is going to be the field goal unit. Caden Olivier gonna snap it, John Bell to hold it, and Dustman to kick it. It's going to be he's going to kick it from about the 31.5. The snap, the spot, and it's almost blocked. Did it get tipped? and it's no good. USD able to get a hand on it. The ball still sailed. It had enough distance, but it just went off towards the right, I believe. And the field goal is no good, keeping the score at 14-7 and within one possession. That's the main thing if you're thinking about this from a red and white perspective. Excuse me, went off towards the left.
Yeah, looking at the flags that are scattered around.
Yep.
Wind is definitely a factor, blowing leftwards, and
I heard the contact. I heard the hand hit the ball. So we'll go ahead and step aside. Once again, a 14-7 lead for SDSU over USD. The missed field goal will give the Coyotes the ball around their own 30-yard line. We'll be back here in a moment. You're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegian Sports.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that catch-up.
Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
So the blocked/missed field goal will set the Coyotes up, trailing 14-7 to SDSU with the ball on their own 29-yard line. Bauman will throw it out to the far sideline. It was bobbled in the air by the receiver, Hayden Erickson, the tight end, almost intercepted by the Jackrabbit defense, but it will just fall incomplete. So a 2nd down and 10 upcoming. We're here at Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium. Braden Byers and Jacob Brendy, Ben Anderson with you here on Collegian Sports. Live coverage of Jackrabbit football. Event 2 of a doubleheader today. Jackrabbit volleyball getting the 3-1 win over Denver to remain unbeaten and at the top of the Summit League standings. That was a great game. Ben lost his voice. He's okay now, though. You'll hear him in the postgame a little bit. 11:07 left to go in the 4th quarter, and a 2nd down and 10 upcoming here. The Coyotes break the huddle, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Bauman takes the low snap, throws it over the middle. It's going to be caught by Carter Bell. He tries to spin out of a tackle, gets his way down to the 38, and that's a yard shy of the first down marker, which sits at the 39. So a 3rd down and 1 upcoming for USD.
Yeah, he got that ball out quick. I think he was anticipating a blitz. Jackrabbit showed an extra man, extra down lineman, and he backed out. So he got that ball out quick, and Oh, it's a 3rd and short situation. Let's see what they do here.
They send 2 receivers bunched to the left. Now Bauman takes the ball, sends it down the field. He lobs it over the middle. It was in the tight end's hands, and he drops it. J.J. Galbraith not able to come up with the completion, and a 4th down coming for South Dakota.
And one of his biggest targets. People love the tight end. Huge, easy target to get to right through his hands.
And he aimed that perfectly. It was an arc over the head of Galbraith, standing at 6'4", the product, the senior out of Arvada, Colorado. And as you mentioned, just right through his hands.
Yeah, not for a lack of trying. He was wide open. There was definitely potential of that. That could have been a long touchdown, but I'll take it. I'll take the incompletion in this case.
So a 4th down and 1 forces a punt for USD inside their own territory. Dallas Beanham calls a fair catch near the 11, but they'll bring it out. Well, actually, it was near the 15, and they'll bring it out now to the 16 or 17. We'll go ahead and step aside once again. 10-14 remaining in the 4th, 14-7 SDSU leads, and you're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegian Sports.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets, and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Support comes from the South Dakota.
So a stop on 3rd down forces a punt on 4th and 1 from USD. The Jackrabbits lead at 14-7, 10-14 left to go in the 4th. Receivers on either side of the offensive line. Gronowski faking the handoff, now stepping back, and he'll throw it to Goring, who catches it on the 30 and angles out of bounds.
Oh, there's some extracurriculars going on right now. Graham Goring, I think he got a little shove out of bounds from the safety. I believe Shahid Barros. Oh, and now they're called an offensive holding penalty. So bring him back 10 yards.
So we'll see where the ball actually gets spotted. It's going to be at the 7. So again, the same formation. 2 receivers in total, 1 to both sides. Now Gronowski bailing out of the pocket. Coming on the near side, he's going to throw it down the field and out of bounds. He's going to throw it away here into his Jackrabbit sideline. So that'll be an incompletion and a 2nd down and 19 yards coming up with 9:49 left to go in the 4th. Still a 1-score game, 14-7. SDSU holding on.
Very unfortunate penalty in this situation, especially when, I mean, that's a backbreaker right there, especially when you picked up the 1st down. This has been a war of attrition, and you can see it on both teams right now. They're wearing down.
A 2-by-2 set. As now the tight end comes in motion, David Alpers. And the pass down the field past the 30-yard line. The ball falls incomplete. The pass intended for Kentrell Prejean. And it'll be incomplete. It was at the 32 is where the play happened. Gronowski threw it to the far sideline. And Prejean didn't even see the hit coming from one Dennis Shorter.
Yeah, so he completed that. He completed that corner route, and it wasn't that it was a contested catch, just the tough physical hit afterwards. He couldn't hold on to that ball.
2 receivers to that far side again. Again, Gronowski running out of his own end zone. He's at the 10-yard line. He angles out of bounds at the 14, but a flag flying near the offensive line.
I think it's going to be another holding call.
And that's what I would guess, judging from where that came from. Yep, and it'll be holding on SDSU again. No official announcement, but he already signaled it.
So now you're in offensive holding. Now you're in a really tough spot. Obviously, you're going to punt. You're backed up in your own end zone. You're not going to have a ton of room to punt it. And you also have to worry about the return. And, I mean, they're down 7, 9:30 left. You're getting into the twilight zone in regards to they might loosen their leash a bit when it comes to 4th down plays.
So Dustman standing on the end line, and now he'll come out to the 2 and punt it towards the far side. Going to be received at the 40 by Carter Bell, and a fair catch called. So that's where they will get it.
Yeah.
So USD going to have it 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, spotted on the far side hash with 9 minutes and 12 seconds left to go. So 60 yards to a touchdown for the Coyotes. They're trailing by a touchdown. They need 7 points to tie it. And at this point, you do start thinking potentially, some coaches have done crazier, 8 points to take the lead. And points are coming out of premium in this game. Just something to keep in the back of your mind. Dropping back Bauman, looking to throw. He finally throws it over the middle, caught at the 48, across the 50 and up to the other 48. So inside to SDSU territory now as we tick past 9 minutes remaining here in the 4th frame.
Pass protection, run blocking, I think you can really only compliment the USD offensive line. There's always going to be an occasional pressure, but they've been playing a pretty decent game.
Now another 1st down and 10 on the SDSU 48. 2 receivers bunched on the near side hash mark. 1 receiver out towards the far side. He'll throw across the middle to his tight end across the 40. Gets wrapped up at the 38. The pass complete now to Galbraith. And they move the chains once again, so they're starting to move the ball down the field a little bit more here. Again, on the 38-yard line, this is going to be a new set of downs, a 1st down and 10, and the clock's down to 8:08 now left in the 4th.
Take back what I said about their run blocking, and that running has still been an issue, but Galbraith had the critical drop last drive. Now he came up with a big play.
2 receivers, 1 to either side. Bauman in shotgun with Theis behind him. He's going to turn and hand off to Theis at the 40. Now the 35. It gets across it, and they'll mark him down right at that 35.
They're moving. They've got some momentum. 3-yard carry, and you gotta respect. There's nothing you can't respect right now. The run, the deep pass, everything. You have to be conscientious about everything. You have to play smart.
So 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard gain. 2 receivers right, couple extra blockers off towards the left of the offensive line. Bauman in shotgun with Theis beside him. He does a play action, dumps it off at the 40 to Theis, the 35, and angling at the far side numbers to the 30, and he gets down to the 28, near the 1st down marker. And they'll give it to him. Then another 1st down for USD as they move the ball further on down this field. This drive starting back at their own 40, and now they're on the SDSU 28. Another 1st down and 10. Again, Theis going to be beside Bauman. A couple yards behind his offensive line. He takes the snap. He's going to throw a strike down the near sideline. Gonna be almost caught. It gets broken up by the SDSU defense. Carter Bell cannot come up with the football, and the defense a large part in that.
I think there was definitely a catch there in the regards to that. Just as they replay it, I mean, there was the potential for the touchdown there, but just couldn't hang on to it.
It was in the arms of Bell, and Humphrey came and basically tackled him in the end zone, forcing the ball out.
Great defense. He got beat, but he was able to catch up and prevent the touchdown.
2 receivers right, a lot of pressure in the backfield. He throws it up, and it's going to be caught in the end zone for a USD touchdown. A.J. Coons gets it, and that makes the score 14-13.
Oh, but look, let's hold on for a second. The refs are having a little conference right now. I don't know what this could be in regards to. Probably in regards to the flag that is currently on the field. And an offensive illegal shift negates the touchdown. A procedural penalty with 6 minutes and 11 seconds in the 4th quarter. The touchdown that would have tied the game is taken back.
From a former Jackrabbit as well, A.J. Coons played a couple of years at State. He had the catch, but an illegal procedure takes the touchdown off the board.
The Jackrabbits they're playing lucky. They're getting lucky with these drops and these penalties. You got to hunker down, and you got to start making some stops.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. A 2nd down and 15 now for USD. Bauman sends it over the middle, caught at the 30, angling up at the 25, and fights forward to the 22. It's going to be caught by Galbraith again. Up the middle, and not enough for the 1st down. A 3rd and 4, as you mentioned. 5:46 left to go in the 4th quarter. They've got 4 yards to get the 1st down. They've got 22 yards to get a touchdown. Again, a touchdown potentially ties it or takes the lead, depending on what you do for the point after attempt. Bauman underneath center. A motion from the tight end, and he's going to pitch it to Theis. Out at the 20, on the far sideline, 15, and the 10, forced out of bounds right at the 10. He jumps over the signage for the advertisements on the far sideline, almost running into the SDSU cheerleaders on that far sideline, but you get out of the way, nobody gets hurt, and USD now has a 1st and 10 on the 10, effectively making it a goal-to-go situation.
Absolutely. And if it wasn't for the safety coming in, that would have been a touchdown, I think.
2 receivers right, 1 left. Bauman turns around, hands it off, and it's going to be picked off at the 10. Theis threw it and he gets it back to the 20. It gets picked off. The running back tried to throw the ball. It gets intercepted on the far side numbers, and South Dakota State makes the stand there, deep inside their own territory.
Bad route, bad throw, great play by Graham Spalding, the linebacker, to get that interception.
Bauman handed it off to Theis. Theis was going to throw it back to Bauman on those far side numbers, and Spalding was waiting there, camping, and the perfect moment, he just came up, brought it out of the air, and brought it back a few yards before he was tackled by one of the USD offensive linemen.
And one of the things I've been talking about this game is how I view the linebackers on both sides have been having good games, and this is just another instance of in this case the SDSU linebackers coming in, making a tremendous play, and I don't understand getting cute in that situation. You've been throwing decently, you've been running decently this drive, and you've come within inches of having a touchdown. You know, you've had a procedural penalty, negate one. You had was frankly a tremendous play by a corner, Colby Humphrey, I believe, breaking up the pass. You've been getting so close. You have your game plan has been working, but they get cute with the trick play, and now 4 minutes and 49 seconds left. Jackrabbits with the ball. That could be game. That could be game. There's still a lot of the game left to play, so to speak, but that's such a moral that crushes you morally, or not morally, emotionally. And these guys are tough mentally, physically. They've gone through, they know what it's like to be on the other end of a turnover, but in a game that's this close, you have to wonder, how do you respond to this? What are the thoughts on the sideline? You can see right now the offensive players are, the USD offensive players skill position are right now on the benches having what looks to be a intensive talk, and you can only hope, if you're them, that your defense, which has been playing a pretty good game, can get the stop and just give them another chance, just give them the opportunity to right that wrong.
USD was driving, and the defense comes up with a good play on what USD was hoping would convert a first down. It was an 8-play. They were driving 50 yards. And it ends in an interception from Graham Spalding.
You know what I think may have had a part in that? I don't want to critique the running back's throwing ability, but with the kick earlier, with the wind being an impact, with being a factor, maybe that impacted the throw. That was a high lofted ball. Who knows? Who knows? All that matters is that the ball was picked, and you just have to put one foot in front of the other.
So now SDSU coming out of the break in offense. They have it at their own 19-yard line, a first down and 10. Gronowski turns and hands off to Amar at the 20, and the ball pops out. It's going to be picked up by the defensive line, and it's going to be run back for a touchdown.
Wow. And that's the, I mean, like I said, you can only hope for your defense to give you a chance, and that was it. That is a heartbreaker.
Mikeese Grace picked it up, rumbled it all the way back into the end zone. And USD has the opportunity to tie it up here at 14. The kicker out to do it, Will Leyland. The snap, the spot, and the kicker all good, and we're tied.
Yep. 4 minutes and 41 seconds left. If you're the Jackrabbits in this case, walk-off field goal, it's probably what you're hoping, but I mean, you have to get to the position in which you can kick it to begin with, and how do you, what is your game plan going forward, especially after such a demoralizing play such as that? You have the lead, you're looking to end the game, you cough up the fumble, the scoop and score. Now it's not only a matter of, hey, we want to get the walk-off field goal. You have to make sure that you don't punt the ball and give them the opportunity to get the field goal.
It's one play at a time from here on out now. As we see, those absolutely huge momentum swings happening in just the last couple of plays. They had a touchdown. It was brought back by an illegal procedure. Then they have the interception. SDSU's on a high, and now the fumble brought back for the touchdown, and we're tied. It just goes back and forth, and all you can do is just go one play at a time and work through this. So USD is going to kick it off here now after that touchdown. Back to receive it going to be Angel and Amar Johnson. And Angel's going to take it at the 12, now the 20, coming out at the 25 and the 30, on the near sideline, 35, and forced out of bounds. That's going to be at the 38-yard line. So let's see what the SDSU offense can do this time, just mere moments after giving up a fumble that was returned back for a touchdown.
Yeah, you have to wonder. He's come up big for you all game. Angel Johnson, right now he's looking at 73 yards, averaging 6.6 a carry. And he had, you don't have to drill it home, a bad fumble, but
it got poked out.
Are you going to trust him to keep on carrying it?
Gronowski's going to send it down the field. Griffin Wilde, a high hit coming on the near sideline. He went up for the ball. He got hit high by Dennis Shorter, and he's been on the giving end of a couple of hard hits so far in this game. There's no laundry on the field. Man, what a hit.
Big hit.
So an incomplete pass, and it's going to set up a 2nd down and 10 now. The ball still on the SDSU 39. The Jackrabbits working right to left. They're going to hand it off to Angel Johnson. He spins out of a tackle somehow. I thought he was for sure dead in the water, and he just keeps pushing past the 40, and they can't bring him down until he eventually gets to the 45. For a back, and last year, Ben can attest to this, we labeled him as a speed back. He's got an immense amount of power.
What coulda, shoulda been a 3-yard carry came a 6-yard carry, and 3rd and 4. Yeah, that's manageable.
The clock rolls past 4, down to 3 minutes and 50 seconds. 2 receivers right. Amar goes out in the flat. Gronowski doesn't even look that way. He tries to stiff arm a tackler. He goes to the 35, obviously visibly upset, slapping the turf as he gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, looked to be perhaps a designed QB run. Stood back in the pocket for a split second. Either he was very quick to decide he didn't want to throw it, or that was, as I stated, a designed run, but just nowhere to go. And now, instead of looking for the walk-off, now you're looking to not be walked off.
Head coach Jimmy Rogers and special teams coach Pat Cashmore electing to punt it here. Dustman gets it away. It's going to be a fair catch signal. It hits at the 12, and it'll bounce down to the 1. I believe they kept it from going out of bounds before it hit at the 1. We'll see, and I think they're going to say it actually went out of bounds at the 5. Either way, a good punt. They're backed up on their own 5, and they have 95 yards to go here to get a touchdown, and less than that for a field goal here, and that would obviously take the lead as we're tied at 14. Just under 3 minutes left here in the 4th.
So yardage-wise, Braden, they haven't kicked much. What do you think they're looking for right now?
around 30-ish yard line, I would say, is about where they would want to be. I mean, anything inside that, and that's an easy-ish field goal as they hand off to Theis. He spins out of a tackle. He somehow keeps himself up at the 10, fights his way up to the 9 or 10-yard line. We'll see where they mark him. If they mark him at the 10, it's a first down. If they mark him at the 9, it's a second down, and they're going to give him that first. Ball's going to be at the 10-yard line, spotted in between the hash marks, and a fresh set of downs, a first down and 10. And the clock's going to keep running, 2:25. And another factor to this, too, we may be looking at overtime as well.
Absolutely.
We have to keep that in mind. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Bauman in the shotgun at the 10-yard line. Looking towards the near side. He had Theis. It was just out of the reach of his hands. It hit him in one of his hands, but there's no way he could have brought that in.
Yeah,
unless you're some superhuman that has, like, sticky hand powers or something like that. It was out of reach.
Yeah, well, tell you what, that was good on him. Good on him on Aiden Bauman, because that was milliseconds away from being a sack.
So a second down and 10 after the incomplete pass with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. The USD offense out there, the ball spotted in between the hash marks. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Bauman again in shotgun. He has, I believe that is going to be Charles Pierre Jr. beside him. A flag thrown on the far sideline. The pass was intended for Carter Bell. And was that Beanham in coverage? And that's probably going to be who the flag is going to be on.
Yep, they're going to be calling the interference, and quick to throw that.
So that's going to put them up to the 30-yard line. 2:05 left to go. SDSU has a little bit of help coming up with the 2-minute timeout. They have 2 of their timeouts left. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Bauman, play action, stepping back, looking to throw. He's going to throw it across to Pierre Jr. At the 35, he fights forward to the 40, and he angles himself out of bounds.
1:56 left on the clock. You're looking to be in the witching hour right now.
$1:56 left to go here in the fourth. 14-14. The Jacks and the Yotes are tied. We'll go ahead and step aside here. When we come back, the conclusion of this one, you're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegian Sports.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets, and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there's nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
They are our cuddlers.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if...
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
It's coming down to it, folks. 14-14. We're all tied up here, Jackrabbits and Coyotes. And we have less than 2 minutes remaining, 1:56 to be exact, on the fourth quarter clock. The Yotes have the ball, 2nd down and 1 on their own 39-yard line. A couple of whirlwind plays just a few moments ago, definitely flipping this game on its head. It was 14-7 all the way from the second quarter until just a few minutes ago. Now 14-14, and the Yotes are driving, trying to win this one in the last couple of minutes. Aiden Bauman, the quarterback for South Dakota. He's in the shotgun. He takes the snap and will hand it off to Theis at the 40. Now he hurdles over a guy at the 50 and makes his way down to the 46. He's inside SDSU territory now. They move the chains. Another first down for South Dakota. 1:50 left to go on the clock. As he went out of bounds, it stops that clock. No, excuse me, he stayed in bounds. They just stopped it to move the chains. Two receivers right. Bauman takes the snap. He's looking down the field. He wants to throw it. He's going for the home run ball, and it's going to fall incomplete. And another pass interference call coming now on Tucker Large, and that one was blatant. The pass was intended for Karan Adams, and Large basically grabbed on his jersey to keep him from catching that ball.
Yeah, that was a blatant penalty. He stumbled a bit and just trying to make up ground, got that hand out, and that's a pass interference.
So with 1:25 left in the fourth, they mark the ball now at the 31. And they're getting closer to the end zone. We'll see what philosophy they go with here, if they're going to try and run out as much time as possible and try that field goal, or if they want to try to get that touchdown. Two receivers left, and they hand it off to Theis at the 30, now up to the 25, and so far it seems like SDSU can't stop the run at all.
Yeah,
at least on this drive.
They've done a good job 90% of the game of containing the run, but just this one quarter, not even just this one quarter, but this drive and the previous drive, those running lanes have really opened up, and the running backs have really fought for every yard.
Less than a minute now to go, 52 seconds and counting. Bauman under center, going to take the snap and pitch it out to Theis. The ball was at the 25, and he ends up at the 26. The run was in the middle of the hash marks to try and set up the kicker in the most favorable position possible. As the ball's going to be spotted in between the hash marks here. And timeout taken on the field by the Jackrabbits. It's going to be a 3rd down and 3 for USD. And we're now down to 41 seconds left.
Yeah, so the kick itself, very doable. It's just a matter of how much time are you going to allow for the SDSU offense to try to string something together. Jacks have one timeout left.
The quarterback drops the football. The Jackrabbit defense tries to jump on it, and that's a backup quarterback, Navon Cremascoli. It is recovered by USD, so 30 seconds left now. It's going to be a 4th down and longer than that, so this is where it all comes down to.
Ball spotted on the Jackrabbit 29-yard line, so kick, what are we looking at, about 36 yards?
I think so.
A missed/blocked kick earlier kept the Jacks from having 17 points. Now they're going to be looking for the wind to do the same to USD as they get ready to kick the go-ahead field goal.
The kicker, Leland, going back for it.
37.
Tyler Ebel to hold it. The snap and the spot and the kick. It's no good.
No good.
It hits the upright. And we remain tied.
It's one of those plays where you don't really know what to say about it. Perhaps I have something to do with that. Maybe I willed it into existence. But only jokes, but wow, what a saving grace. I mean, you can only imagine that they're probably just going to try to kneel this out. Actually, the Coyotes have 3 timeouts, so they're going to have to run some plays. Ball security, of course, priority number 1, and they're looking to throw.
3 receivers right. Gronowski's going to set it up to Goring. He's going to be at the 35, 20 seconds and counting. The SDSU offense going to try and get back on the ball. And they're going to clock it. Spikes it with 10 seconds left on the clock.
So wind's a factor. Obviously going to make any kick more difficult, but realistically, you are looking for, you want to get to that 40-yard line maybe. Ball spotted at the SDSU 35. So you've got about 25 yards to go, 12 seconds to do it, to give yourself a chance.
Yep, they add 2 more seconds onto it. So as you mentioned, 12 seconds for SDSU. 14-14, we're tied, Jackrabbits and Coyotes, in this installment of the Interstate Series. Handoff to Amar Johnson. Now at the 39 is where he gets to. They say he got to the 40. There's 6 seconds left. And a stoppage on the field here. They're saying to let the clock run. Is that going to be end? I think this is going to be the end.
And we're heading to overtime.
What other way could this one end, folks? 14-14. South Dakota State is tied with South Dakota. We'll go ahead and step aside for a break, and when we come back, it's overtime for these two teams. We'll see how it all plays out on the other side. You're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegiate Sports.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by D.O. Bike and Fitness. Located at 1738 6th Street in Brookline, South Dakota, D.O. is a place for all things bikes. Offering top brands such as Trek and Electra, this close-to-campus store has both bike and e-bike options. Remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a bike, and that's pretty close. 692-2022 is the number to call for this full-service and sales store. D.O. is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio KSDJ 90.7.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
What a way to end this one. 14-14, we're tied at the end of regulation between South Dakota State and South Dakota. The Coyotes and the Jacks are going to overtime in this installment of the Interstate Series. And unlike the first meeting back in the 1800s, this one's not going to end in a tie. Someone has to win this. We'll see if it's the team from Brookings or the team from Vermilion. As both teams, Gronowski's going to walk out by himself to the coin toss, and a couple of captains from USD's team will walk out. Let's see if we can hear what's happening.
Your options are offense, defense, or in the field. South Dakota, what is your call? Tails is the call. It is heads. Defense. What is that? Would you like to defend? All right. We're playing down this one. South Dakota.
Okay, so it looks like South Dakota State won the toss, and they are going to elect to be on defense first. So let's do a quick reminder on how overtime works here in college football. The coin toss will decide whether offense or defense or the end of the field. Each team gets a possession from the opponent's 25-yard line for the first two overtimes. After the first two overtimes, you must attempt a two-point conversion after a touchdown. In the second overtime and in the third overtime, you just start alternating two-point conversions. And in this situation, you want defense first, so you know what you have to do on the offensive end.
Absolutely. Very different than the NFL.
So South Dakota has it on the 25-yard line. Again, in overtime, it is not timed either. A handoff going to be brought up past the 25 down to the 27 is where they are going to get it. There is first down markers as well. The first down marker in this case is sitting at the 15-yard line. Ball's going to be at the 27. Second down and 8 for USD. They're working right to left. They're headed towards the north end zone. Single receiver near side. Bauman takes the snap. He's looking to pass. He steps up in the pocket, going for it all in the end zone, and it falls incomplete. Carter Bell just out the outstretched arms of Carter Bell, and Bauman cannot connect with the wide receiver, and Bell is down on the field inside the end zone, and he looks to be hurt. He gets back up.
Good on him.
Definitely not feeling good though.
Yeah, that was you wake up aching, but he's got some assistance, but he's walking back to his sideline.
He'll be okay.
I'm sure he's a tough guy, but for USD, now what you're looking at, so it's 3rd and 8. And obviously, if you don't convert here, you're going to go for the field goal.
Yep.
But they previously attempted a field goal of what would be, depending on how much they gained here, equal distance, and missed. So this is an important play.
The Jackrabbit sideline encouraging the crowd of what at one point was 19,351. It's thinned out a little bit, but not too terribly much. And a timeout called by South Dakota State. It's going to be a 30-second. We'll keep it here. Still tied at 14. We're in the first overtime. In the first possession of overtime, USD has the football on the 23-yard line, a 3rd down and 8.
Yep, and just as a reminder, you mentioned it earlier, Braden, but if USD kicks the field goal here and makes it, the game is not over. If they score a touchdown, the game is not over.
Nope.
SDSU will get the ball. It's just a matter of, are they going to need a field goal to tie it, a touchdown to tie it? Does either one of them win it? There's a lot on the line on this play here.
So again, 3rd down and 8. They're on the SDSU 23, moving right to left towards the north end zone. Single receiver to either side. Bauman fakes the handoff. He's going to throw it out over the middle to Charles Pierre Jr. He gets wrapped up near the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a 4th down for USD, and they're going to kick the field goal here to go up by 3,
Brought
potentially.
Around the 28-yard line, and I think the kick they attempted earlier that they missed was longer, but this is still looking to be a 30-yard kick. Wind has died down a bit, but still needs to be taken into account.
So going to be a 40-yard field goal. He's going to kick it from the 30. The snap, the spot, and the kick. It's good. So USD goes up by 3 here, 17-14, and in overtime number 1, we are now going to have South Dakota State attempt the exact same thing.
Yeah, the way overtime is set up, unless you take a sack, a tackle for a loss, kicking the field goal, that is always an expectation. So this is not something that I'm sure they would have loved a turnover or a block, but they're probably going into this knowing that, hey, if we want to win, we're going to have to score a touchdown. What they do, are they gonna try to play it safe? Are they gonna try to end the game here? We'll see how it goes, but obviously ball security, #1 priority. You cannot turn the ball over here.
So a touchdown will win it here for SDSU. 1st down and 10 on the 25-yard line. Gronowski standing in shotgun. Excuse me, that's going to be Mason standing in shotgun at the 30. Going up past the 25, fighting forward to the 22. Second down and 7 coming up for SDSU. Ball spotted on the near side hash now.
Gronowski back in.
Seven yards to the first down, 22 to the end zone. Gronowski fakes the handoff at the 30. He has to roll out towards his right. He's going to run with it, 25-20, engages the tackle and gets forward to the 16-yard line. A yard shy of the first down, markers at the 15, but a 3rd down and 1 is definitely something you won't shy away from.
Yeah, now you have to wonder, what do they do if they don't convert it? if they do not get this first down off this play right here, are you fine with kicking it? You never know what will happen when you kick it. Do you try to punch it home and just really go for the touchdown? How risky are you willing to play it? That's only if they don't get this first down here, and it's looking to be maybe on the longer side of a 3rd and 1, but this run defense has been playing very well for the Coyotes. So the offensive line, they're going to have to put everything they have into this play here.
By the way, timeout called by South Dakota. Here on this 3rd down, and about 1.5 is really more realistic.
Absolutely.
So both teams trot back out there. It's going to be a single receiver to the near side. It's going to be Graham Goring. He's coming in motion from left to right, and he's going to settle on the right side. Now Gronowski going to hand it off to Amar Johnson. Gets met at the 15. Did he get enough for the first down? That's the question here.
Coyotes signaling that they didn't. But the refs are what matter in this case. And they're saying
it's going to be a 4th down.
4th and inches it looks, and they're going to bring out the field goal unit.
Crowd obviously not happy. And they're going to look at it here.
They're going to look at it, yep. How close it is. I mean, this is
I mean,
big.
you can't get any closer. Where that marker is right now,
inches.
You cannot get any closer.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough call to overturn it. The ruling on the field right now is that it is short. So you're going to need the evidence to overturn that. So let's see.
Tough to see on the replay on the video screen.
Yep. Maybe something important to note, he didn't go down on his own, so to speak. He had a lineman underneath him, so it took him a while before a knee or elbow went down. So that shouldn't be too much of a factor in this decision. The ruling stands. And it looks like they're going to bring out field goal unit.
Nope.
And they're going to,
they're going for it. 4th down and 1, really inches. South Dakota scrambling, thinking they were going to go for the field goal. Single receiver to the far side on the numbers.
You have to wonder if they're just going to try and get him offside.
They keep on substituting, Now Gronowski's going to go under center, and they're going to push, and he got it. He got across the 15 and more. No doubt in my mind he got that first down.
Yep, I formation. They had 2 running backs behind there to help shove them in. And that gives the offense a bit more life, a gutsy call. But now they can continue trekking on for the win.
So now another 1st down and 10. This time it's on the 14-yard line. Again, touchdown wins it for SDSU. They trail 17-14 in the first overtime. Gronowski takes it. He'll shovel it off to Wilde. Coming out on the 10. He dives forward, stretches it out to the 9, possibly the 9.5. They'll mark it at the 9-yard line.
That he took a big hit, but a game as close as this, these guys are definitely willing to sacrifice their body. And it's a gain of 6. 2nd down, 1st down marker the 4 down or on the 4-yard line, pardon me.
And they will mark it actually at the 8. They eventually move it. So 2nd down and 4 on the 8-yard line for SDSU. 2-by-2 set. Also an empty backfield for Gronowski. They're going to throw it here. Looking across the middle, it's going to be complete at the 3.
First down.
And a first down for South Dakota State. Graham Goring
and the fans
on the
know
reception. 3 yards to the end zone. They have 4 plays to do it. Can't get another first down here. First down and goal, 3 yards to the end zone. Wilde comes across in a motion. A handoff and the keeper from Gronowski. He's going to stretch forward as much as he can, but he ran into a brick wall there. Going to say no gain on it. And going to be a 2nd down and 3. First overtime, 17-14. USD leads it, and again, SDSU can win with a touchdown here. Gronowski takes the snap. He hands it off to Amar Johnson. Pushing forward into the end zone for the Jackrabbit touchdown. SDSU walks it off with a touchdown in the first overtime. Now they're bringing both teams back to the sideline. And it looks like they're going to review it. Gronowski handed it off to Amar Johnson. He hesitated for a little bit behind the offensive line, but he powered his way through. They're going to be looking for if his knee is down before he hits the goal line. And man, it's going to be tough to tell inside that pile of humanity. And it looks like he's inside the air from the replay that we can see on the video screen. He is levitating in the middle of the air when that football crosses the plane of the end zone. Head referee David Hergert still standing at the 11 on the near sideline, taking a look at this on the video screen. Right now, 20-17 would be the final score. If this stands or is confirmed, here's the call. It's over. South Dakota State walks it off with a touchdown in the first overtime over USD. It's official now, and the two teams meet on the field to shake hands after possibly one of the most entertaining football games I've seen as a student here at State.
Strength, grit, determination, a little bit of luck. That's what it took to win tonight. But a W is a W. You'll take a win when you can. And what a way to respond. So much emotional turmoil in this game. From being up 14-7 to having a heartbreaking fumble for a touchdown, to punting the ball, not being able to have the fate of the game in your own hands, and just watching your defense just struggle. But then when it was most important, both sides of the team stepped up and both played an important part in winning this game. That is what Jackrabbit football is about. Determination, grit, strength, and sometimes just a little bit of luck.
a little bit of luck. 20-17, the final score. SDSU beats USD in this installment of this Interstate Series. We're going to go ahead and take a break here. On the other side, we'll have much more for you about this game, and we'll take a look at some scores from around the Missouri Valley Football Conference. 20-17, the Jackrabbits win it. We'll be back here after this. You're listening to Jackrabbit Football on Collegian Sports.
Support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
Get hurt in a game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/olderadults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by DO Bike and Fitness. Located at 1738 6th Street in Brookings, South Dakota, DO is a place for all things bikes. Offering top brands such as Trap and Electra, this close-to-campus store has both bike and e-bike options. Remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a bike, and that's pretty close. 692-2022 is the number to call for this full-service and sales store. DO is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio KSDJ 90.7.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the post-game report here in Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium. You're listening to Collegian Sports. South Dakota State, USD. South Dakota State going to come away with a win here in overtime. Final score being 20-17. Came down to a nail-biter. I can't say that I wasn't uncomfortable throughout the entire experience, but good to see that South Dakota State can beat a longtime rival, especially after coming off of a loss to NDSU last week. Let's take a little recap on how this went down. USD scores first with 9 minutes and 33 seconds left in the first quarter. Rushing touchdown for Thesis there. and the USD Yotes lead it by 7. Next, SDSU is going to be able to score right in their first quarter as well. First drive for both teams, able to come away with the touchdown. Mark Gronowski is going to get that one with a 1-yard rush with 6 minutes left there in the first quarter. 7-7 there at the end of the first. In the second quarter, SDSU also able to get a touchdown. Amar Johnson going to get a 1-yard rush in, and Hunter Dustman's extra point is good. 14-7, SDSU leads at halftime. Quiet third quarter, no scores there. But into the fourth quarter with only 4 minutes and 41 seconds left, SDSU has the ball backed up near their own end zone, and McQueese Grace is able to scoop and score on the first play after an interception and score a 15-yard fumble return for touchdown. 14-all leads us into overtime. Overtime number 1, Jackrabbit's able to come up with a big stop and force a 30-yard field goal attempt, and that one is going to be good there. So Yotes score first in overtime, 14-17. SDSU controversial down. It's a 4th and 1, or not even 1 inches probably, and SDSU is going to decide to go for that, and they are successful in converting on 4th down. That leads to a 3-yard rush by Angel Johnson for the touchdown there. 2017 final score. Jackrabbits win that. Let's take a look at some of the game stats throughout. The Yotes total yards, 275. 193 of those yards coming from passing, only 82 from rushing attempts. Jackrabbits a little bit more evened out here. 329 total yards, 163 from passing, 166 on the rush. Jackrabbits a little bit more penalized throughout this game. The Yotes had 5 penalties, accounting for 26 yards. Jackrabbits 6 penalties, accounting for 58 yards. Throughout the rest of the game, the Jackrabbits able to convert on 3rd down 8 out of 16 times for the Jacks and 3 out of 12 times for the Yotes. Jackrabbits converting on 4th down 1 out of 2 attempts. Overall, the Jackrabbits also suffered in tackles for losses. The Yotes able to get 7 tackles for loss on the Jacks, while the Jacks only had 1 on the Yotes. That definitely accounted for a lot of the struggles on the SDSU side. Taking a look at some of the players around, Gronowski able to complete 20 out of 27 attempts tonight for 163 yards and a passer rating of 124.8. Angel Johnson had 14 attempts tonight for 81 yards, along of 32 yards. Mark Gronowski, 15 attempts for 54. Receiving side for South Dakota State, Graham Goring, 6 receptions tonight for 46 yards, along of 15. And Griffin Wilde, 3 receptions tonight for 61 yards and a long of 26. Now looking over on the USD side, Bauman, the quarterback, completes 20 for 32 for 163 yards and a passer rating of 105.3. Rushing side, Thesis is able to attempt 15 rushes for 78 yards, averaging 5.2 yards per carry. And on the receiving side for USD, Carter Bell, 5 receptions, 53 yards, along of 18. He also had a passing attempt tonight that was completed for 30 yards as well. So Carter Bell has a passer rating of 352 tonight for the receiver. Those are some of the stats from the players tonight. Now let's take a look around the Missouri Valley Football Conference college football scorecard. Of course, there's this game tonight. Jackrabbits win it 20-17. And Indiana State comes away with a victory as well over Southern Illinois, 20-17 as well in that one. Earlier today, North Dakota State able to get a victory over 1-7 Murray State, 59-6. Missouri State beats Northern Iowa University, 49-42. And Youngstown State upsets North Dakota in a big overtime game as well. They win that one, 41-40 in overtime. That was a spin around the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Let's see what's coming up now for the Jackrabbits. Next week, they're going to be playing Murray State right here in Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium. Then they go to play North Dakota on November 9th. November 16th, they're playing Southern Illinois right here once again. And November 23rd, it's at Missouri State as well. Composite-wise, for the Jackrabbits as a whole, golf meet Tuesday, the 1st, the Badger Invitational there. Excuse me, got to scroll down a little bit. I'm a little bit off. Otherwise, coming up next, for real, is soccer versus Oral Roberts in Brookings at the Fishbach Soccer Park. And this Wednesday, coming up next week on the 30th, women's basketball kicks off versus St. Cloud State right here in Brookings, and men's basketball will be playing Black Hills State as well in a doubleheader. And me and Braden will probably be there. I would assume going to be some great games as we get to see the basketball team start off their season. And then on the 31st, it's volleyball at Omaha, in Omaha, Nebraska. So that's going to be a good matchup in the Summit League there. So that's what's coming up here for the Jackrabbits as a whole. We'll be back next time you listen to us, probably be on Wednesday for basketball, men's and women's doubleheader. We'll be back. So this has been Ben Anderson for Braden Byers as well as Jacob, and we'll be back next time here on Collegiate Sports. Have a good one.